Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with BNEWS reporters Chris Flaherty, Tad Stefanak, Robert Paris, and Cody O'Neill, and Gretchen Carey with the Community Calendar. Thank you for joining us. The Burlington High School Building Committee has been busy at work over the summer. They have provided schematic design updates, hosted another community meeting to give residents the opportunity to ask questions and provide feedback. And this week they announced Consigli Construction as the construction manager, with BHS alumni Christy Lyons as the pre-construction executive. Consigli presented a video that laid out what the 4 phases of the project would look like.
But the one I really want to focus on here is the safety of staff and students throughout the whole project. We didn't forget about the abutting neighbors either. We understand the tight neighborhoods around campus, some of the trucking constraints on streets such as Bedford. So we've identified a safe mainstream route into the campus that won't affect the abutting neighbors. We've also taken a look at how the campus moves during the day, understanding drop-off and pickup times. In the first phase, how we're going to have to make some alternate bus loops around campus to never have any sort of bottlenecking, how to safely get the students into the building by having some temporary sidewalks put into place, as well as some parent drop-off areas temporarily created in the student parking lot. You see that here. Again, safety is always #1 priority. We have jersey barriers protecting the sidewalks, flashing signs at the crosswalks, clean separation between where we'll be building the addition and where staff and students can get into the building. And one cool thing here is the entry points for all of phase 1 are exactly what they are today. So we were able to work it in a way that it's not going to be a learning curve. There'll be some temp parking lots and things of that nature, but the actual entrance and egress points will remain the same. Here's a couple of shots of what the project will look like in terms of the flow of the build, the new addition. Again, keeping in mind here when we have a crane on site for steel erection, when we have concrete pump trucks, when we're pouring the slabs and the foundations, always staying inside the confines of our job sites, never interrupting with the student population or interrupting how traffic is during pickup and drop off. Again, taken just at our first stab approach, but throughout the phases of the addition, we'll be working over a few summers where we want to tackle some work such as the gymnasium and the auditorium. Again, strategically with the academic calendar, so we're minimally impacting those departments during the school year. And then we'll start phase 2. So we'll reestablish our construction fence over the next leg of the work. We've got our next round of renovations, such as creating the BECC space, working on how we're going to sequence the abatement and demolition, that mid part of the building I talked about in that case study, how we're going to safely drop that building and strategically do it over the course of a summer so that when staff and students come back in the fall, the building is substantially down. All that high-risk work happened when there wasn't a huge population on campus. And then what they're seeing through the start of that next school year is the site work, creating the new road, the new drop-off, the new addition for the new main entrance. Here's a shot of what that bus loop will look like after phase 1. We're suggesting a temporary drop-off area over by where the gymnasium space is. We feel that this will help with flow around the campus for buses. And again, that parent drop-off will still remain over at the student lot. So we're not jumping around 10 different times throughout the course of construction. We're trying to keep it as mainstream as possible. And then lastly, in phase 4, we'll establish the site fence once more. We will work on the renovation scope revolving around the new Center for Education, the new BCAT studio space, and we'll wrap up the project with finishing all the landscaping. We like to give a top coat of asphalt and line striping at the end of the job, so even though it was phased over 4 years, it all looks clean and uniformed when we leave, and proudly and excitingly handing over the keys at the end of phase 4 to the new home of Burlington High School.
The High School Building Committee is made up of the school committee as well as school and town administrators, BHS teachers, and 1 student representative who happens to be none other than BCAT's Zach Titus. BNEWS' Chris Flaherty caught up with Zach to get his perspective of being on the committee.
Zach Titus, member of the Burlington High School class of 2027, is bringing the perspective of Red Devil Nation to the BHS Building Committee as student representative.
So Mr. Sullivan approached me one day, just kind of telling me about like what this committee is doing, and asked me if I wanted to get involved. You know, they want student voice. They've had some in the past, and that this might be just a good opportunity to get more student input onto the project. It's very cool, a lot to learn about. Like, hear all the different perspectives, learn more about different people's understanding of different like aspects of the project, and watching it like come into fruition. They welcome my input a lot. They ask my perspective on different things. Students are obviously going to be occupying the building, so I mean, I'm hoping that like I'm on the same like wavelength, I guess, as like other students will be, and they're going to just have a similar opinion on different issues, like what to prioritize. Like windows is a big thing, and like the orientation of the building. So different things like that a student would see on a day-to-day basis that others might not be paying as much attention to. I just want to see a good space that really accommodates all that the building is supposed to offer, including classrooms, hallways, stuff like that, and really just correctly like can accommodate as much that Burlington High School has to offer.
Until next time, this is Chris Flaherty for BNEWS Weekly.
People Helping People held their first annual Summerfest, Pours for a Purpose, event at Grandview Farm, and Varys Conley was there.
On July 24th, People Helping People held a special event at the Grandview Farm called Pours for a Purpose, where beer and spirit vendors came to raise money for the organization.
Yeah, so this is our first Summerfest event. We're very excited. We were trying to sort of capture an audience that we weren't already capturing. You know, offer a fun event for people to get involved, and you know, to help us to continue to keep the funds flowing for helping the community. We have several great sponsors. Like we had National Development, Keurig Dr. Pepper, Wegmans sponsored our food. We really appreciated it. The sponsorship really helps us get this event off the ground so that all of it can go back into helping people in need. It's festive, it's fun, it's something different that we have never done before, and the vendors are great. They're so fun, and you know, they're just enjoying talking to people and talking about their products. There's so much need out there, and some people don't think that that's the case in Burlington. You know, everything we do, we try to talk about the organization and what we do. You know, we're not just a food pantry. We help support other basic needs and holidays for kids. So, you know, getting the word out is really, really important.
You know, you work for months and months planning these events, and then to see it come to fruition, you know, run successfully and people enjoy themselves, that's really the biggest joy. But also to learn more about people helping people, and if they want to volunteer, come on down. We're always looking for volunteers at the pantry. So really just to share information about what we do and how we do it.
This has been Varys Conley from BNEWS.
The town is actively searching to fill a newly created communications officer position to lead its townwide communications and community engagement strategy. This new leadership role will develop and implement comprehensive communications programs that inform, educate, and engage Burlington residents, businesses, and stakeholders. As a member of the town's administrative team, the communications officer will be responsible for the development of an integrated communications framework that includes digital strategy, branding, media relations, website content and curation, and social media management. This role will also serve as the town's public information officer during emergency or crisis situations. The Animal Control Office will be hosting a special emergency preparedness for pets presentation on July 29th at Rahanis Dog Park at 3 p.m. Pets are important members of many households, and like people, they are affected by disasters. This presentation would teach you how to prepare for unforeseen events and how to include your pets in your family emergency plan. Moonveil, A Town Twisted in Time, is a supernatural mystery TV series set in a small New England town with a time-skipping anomaly. Burlington resident Paul Gustafson created and wrote the prospective streaming series with the help of AI. Tad Stefanek has the story.
Screenwriter, registered nurse, and clinical hypnotherapist Paul Gustafson is venturing into storytelling in space and time.
Moonveil is hopefully going to become a streaming TV series, sci-fi adventure. time travel, alien presence. It's got a lot into it. It's very character-driven. A neurodivergent lead character, a woman named Rita, working for a secret space propulsion lab. In 2024, accidentally gets transported back 100 years.
One moment, I was cleaning floors at a top-secret time propulsion lab. The next, I'm staring at the same streets, same town, just 100 years too early.
It's all about Rita, the lead character. She's on the spectrum. She works as a janitor for STP, Space-Time Propulsion Lab.
Systems for temporal propulsion. We don't call it time travel. We call it targeted displacement.
And she accidentally gets transported back 100 years, so she's forced to cope.
Something's off.
As well as trying to find her way back home. The reason she got transported is because of an alien presence. They call it, commonly referred to as the shimmer.
The shimmer, a localized distortion with no measurable source, logic, or limit.
And I've gone through the process of learning how to use AI. I've been using ChatGPT, and it started very innocently. My wife and I are sitting in the morning having our coffee, watching a YouTube video of 1920s New York. Video, it's colorized, and they pipe in the sound of the city. And we just went on fantasizing about what it would be like to cope with that transition, and to cope with the way things were. At that point, I was using ChatGPT for my own hypnotherapy practice, using it for lyrics, and I'm a musician, as you can see with the guitars, for lyric writing. And the door was open, and I was starting to explore it. And then I happened to be using ChatGPT, and I said, hey, by the way, what do you think of this idea? And the dynamic of the AI is incredible, and how I was given all sorts of suggestions and ideas, how to structure, how to outline, and put together scenes. And very quickly developed a relationship with this intelligence. Hey, Chatty, what's going on?
Hey there, not too much. Just here and ready to help out. How's your day going? Still working on your hypnotherapy channel, or are we diving into something new today?
And I've been working on this project. We're into July now for most of this year. And now the pitching process and finding agents. Dream scenario would be to make a connection, find someone that's interested, and then figure out the logistics of perhaps selling the story to them. It's cool, it's fun, and where it leads, who knows? For me, the enjoyment is the process and the creation. I encourage everybody to explore AI. The potential is enormous. Creative potential is even greater.
Controlled, measured, repeatable. That's what it says in the brochure anyway.
From the creative office of Paul Gustafson, I'm BNEWS reporter Tad Stefanak.
Time travel, aliens, and artificial intelligence, every science fiction buff's dream. The Middlesex Sheriff's Office is warning residents of a significant uptick in reported scam calls in which perpetrators are posing as members of the office. These law enforcement impersonation scams are persistent and widespread, often telling targets they are subject to arrest for things like failing to pay taxes or outstanding fines, failing to show for jury duty, or failing to participate in court hearings as expert witnesses. In some instances, they may tell individuals with professional licenses, such as medical or mental health professionals, that those licenses may be revoked as a result of these failures. Scammers will frequently lend additional authenticity to this fraud by utilizing the names of real officers, spoofing the telephone numbers of law enforcement agencies. If you receive one of these messages, please know that no legitimate law enforcement agency will ever threaten arrest over the phone, via text or email, or demand you pay a fine using one of these means, said Middlesex Sheriff Peter J. Katusian. These are telltale signs of a scam. If you receive one of these calls or messages, disconnect right away. Don't click on any links, and never provide any personal or financial information. In happier news from the Sheriff's Office, with smiles and salutes, they celebrated the completion of the 2025 Youth Public Safety Academy. Last week, over 100 cadets, primarily from Burlington as well as other neighboring communities, engaged in a variety of activities designed to educate about law enforcement, emergency preparedness, fire safety, and more. Cadets also got to see the MSO's K-9 unit in action, participate in interactive team activities, and meet first responders from their very own communities. The week ends with a graduation ceremony to recognize cadets for their efforts as they are cheered on by their loved ones, public safety leaders, and elected officials from their communities. Good News Gus made a stop in Burlington and performed at the Wayside Shopping Center. BNEWS volunteer Cody O'Neill has the story.
Children and their families gathered at Wayside for a fun-filled morning with entertainer, puppeteer Harry Lacoste about Good News Gus.
My name is Harry, and I'm a puppeteer here in Massachusetts. And I have a character named Good News Gus. And we tell stories and sing songs, and we go to do events, and we have a show called The Loose Caboose. And we travel all around New England to promote positivity, and Good News Gus loves to share good news, so he'll ask the children in the audience what they're excited about, and sometimes they'll talk to us because it's a little intimidating to talk in front of a crowd. And then we'll have all sorts of different little vignettes about the train world, the world of trains, and it's a good time.
After previously working on Sesame Street, Harry had an idea of creating the Puppet Gus, which became a side job for entertaining kids.
When I first started Good News Gus, it was my twin sister's birthday in March, I think, yeah. And so I made a video for her. So it wasn't a live performance, but it was more video. And I remember doing that in my apartment and making a video and hearing that my niece was talking to the camera, talking to the phone, saying like, I know her, I know it. He said my name, Mommy, he said your name. And so Kylie was singing Happy Birthday along with Gus. And I thought maybe we could do this. And so we started making personalized videos and people who wanted to share good news. And so Good News Gus became Good News. And then when we moved back to Massachusetts, I worked with a daycare center, or one big daycare center, and I traveled to different daycare centers throughout the day. So I would bring Gus and we would sing songs and tell stories. And then during the pandemic, unfortunately, I lost my job. And so I bought a landscape trailer and I transformed it into my puppet caboose. And so Good News Gus travels with the puppet caboose, and we tell stories and sing songs out of the caboose, out of how can we get back out there and celebrate, and how can we get back out there and tell stories. And so Good News Gus tells stories out of the caboose now.
So what was Harry's favorite puppet?
And my favorite character for me to perform in my show, Good News Gus has got to be up there at the top, but I do have a dog, and his name is Otis, and he is so interactive, and the children really love him, and are really finding a fun time with Otis. So I'm gonna have to say Otis and Gus are they're my boys.
Harry enjoys connecting with the audience members during his performances.
Why do I like performing these shows? I love seeing the children who are a little bit nervous, who get a little bit more comfortable, and by the end, they're trying to pull the puppet off my hand and try to hug the puppet and give the puppet love, to be so inhibited at first, and then see them turn the corner and realize that this is just fun, and for them to open up and really express themselves. So seeing them, hearing them laugh, we have some interactive parts of the show, and hearing them yell back and be part of it is really rewarding.
From Wayside, I'm Cody O'Neill for BNEWS Weekly.
BEST, the Burlington Educational Summer Theater, has been busy at work getting ready for their performance of The Lightning Thief. Let's take a look.
Percy Jackson is coming your way this summer at the Fogelberg Auditorium. The Burlington Educational Summer Theater is performing The Lightning Thief, based on Percy Jackson's books by Rick Riordan.
It's a story about a young boy who gets kicked out of a bunch of schools and end up at a camp with a very special discovery that his dad is actually one of the Greek gods. So it's kind of an interesting story. Lots of great messages for kids about being true to yourself and, finding your own powers.
At the program popularity, the cast is larger than ever. The variety of songs and dances will be under the director of choreographer Jamie Cook.
So there's quite a bit of music in this show. Sometimes when we do the junior versions, it's a lot of music and they trim the scenes down a little bit. This show is a little bit less than our previous years for true dance numbers. I think we have about 4 or 5.
We had a chance to speak with a number of actresses and actors and who they will be portraying in their production.
My role is Percy Jackson. So he has ADD and dyslexia. so he doesn't really do well in school. And that's also most of the fact because all this Greek mythology stuff is going at him, as we can see in the opening number.
I play Grover, and he is a satyr, and he protects Percy and Annabeth on their quest.
She's really smart, and she's kind of jealous of Percy because he gets to go on a quest and she's been working for it her whole life.
Music director Beth Holmgren is in her second year and is looking forward to the variety of different ensembles.
It's such a cool musical. It's got a rock score, so it's super fun. The composer of the musical, Rob Rokicki, he did a great job constructing this show with different themes for each of the characters, and different moments happen during the musical, and then he'll reference them later. So it's really interesting how all the music's pieced together for this. It's got some really memorable songs.
You can see the production live on stage on July 25th or on July 26th from the Fogelberg Auditorium. I'm Cody O'Neill for BNEWS Weekly.
Up next is our Summer Rec Review segment with Jeff DeSalvo and Andrew Mountain, following our community calendar.
Hey everyone, I'm Gretchen Carey, and this is your community calendar. On July 29th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., the Whale Mobile will be at the Burlington Public Library for children entering grades 1 through 6. Pre-registration is required. For more information and to register, go to the following website. Also on July 29th from 3 to 4:30 p.m., the Burlington Police Animal Control is having an emergency preparedness for pets event at the Rohannes Dog Park. Everyone is welcome to the event. On August 2nd, beginning at 11 a.m., the Parks and Recreation Department is having the annual Celebrate Burlington event on the town common. Everyone is welcome, and the event is free. For more community calendar events, go to bcattv.org, burlingtonpubliclibrary.org, and burlingtonrecreation.org. I'm Gretchen Carey, and that was your community calendar.
Welcome back to another edition of Burlington Recreation's Summer Rec Review. I'm Andrew Mountain.
And I'm Jeff DeSalvo.
Today we're here at Gymnastics. We're going to get to talk to some of our directors, of our summer staff, and take a look around and see what the kids are doing at the program. All right, we're here with one of our summer staff, Sam. We're going to interview her. Sam, how long have you been doing gymnastics?
I did gymnastics for 16 years before I graduated a couple years ago.
Awesome. And to follow up with that, how long have you been on the gymnastics Burlington Rec team?
2 years.
Thus far, what has been your favorite activity that you've gotten to, I don't know, instruct or help out the kids with?
I think the handstand contest that we do at the end of the day each day, because they all have so much fun with it, and everyone gets involved, and it's something that everyone gets to be involved with, so I really like that.
So is that with counselors or staff as well as participants, or is it just participants?
So every day is just participants, and then on Thursdays we do a staff handstand contest, and whoever wins the staff handstand contest has immunity for that week, so they don't get ice water dumped on them. And but then you're free game the next few weeks. So I won last week, so I'm free game this week. So we'll see if I get water dumped on me.
You guys have any special days happening or activities?
Water day. We have water day today, so that's fun. We do that every Thursday. We have the big water slide, so that's fun for everyone to get to do. And then there's other activities that they can do outside, so that's fun for all of them.
Awesome.
Sometimes we'll go down the water slide if I'm forced to.
That sounds like fun. All right, we'll take it back to Jeff.
All right, now I'm here with the directors of the program.
Hi, my name is Sarah Gubnitsky.
I'm Caroline Spinelli.
And how long have you guys been with the program?
This is my 6th year at the gymnastics camp, my first year directing, but I've been here for 5 years before that.
I've been at the rec for a long time, in different roles, but this is my 3rd year directing the gymnastics program.
Awesome, thank you. So, how's the summer been going for you guys?
It's been going great, a lot of fun, a lot of new things we're learning. We do our water slide, a lot of different events.
Pretty good overall. I would say we have a lot of fun, a lot of gymnastics, obviously, some singing and dancing in there too.
Yeah, you want to take us through like a normal day here?
Absolutely, we have our visual schedule here. So a day in the life, we start off with our warm-up, and then we have 3 different events, and we go through the whole gym, and the participants are allowed to explore and try all the different events. And then we have our open workout, where the staff are stationed throughout the gym, and the participants are allowed to try different events. And then we have our snack time, 3 more rotations, lunchtime, and then every day we do a game that ranges from stick it to an obstacle course. We do routines, and then 2 more rotations, and then every day we also do a handstand contest. It's a very fun day.
Awesome. Do you guys have a favorite event or activity?
Mine would be beam, for sure.
My favorite is bars.
Awesome. Well, that wraps it up with the directors. Thank you, guys.
Glad we got to swing by gymnastics. Thanks for watching another segment of Summer Rec Review.
Celebrate Burlington is next weekend, and Robert Paris has a preview of the day's festivities for us. Let's look.
The biggest event in the summer is almost here. The Parks and Recreation Celebrate Burlington event.
Yeah, there's a whole lot that goes into it, from getting sponsors to booking all the vendors, all the activities that go there. It's a very long process, of months and months. The carnival starting at 11, then we have a car show at 5, and then a concert with the Rusty Randoms at 7, and then once it gets dark, fireworks. So it's a full day event. It's a lot of fun. Our assistant director, Kelly Lehman, does the lion's share of it. She does an amazing job with it. We help her with anything she needs. Favorite part, though, I mean, the concert is pretty fun. At the end of the day, like, everyone kind of winds down, the crowd goes away, and then it comes back for that, and the Rusty Randoms are great, and our good friend Jordan, fronts that, so that's fun to see him, and yeah, that's probably my favorite.
You can check out more information on the event at burlingtonrecreation.org. I'm Robert Paris for BNEWS Weekly.
Our photo of the week was sent in by Alita Charbonneau. She sent us a Christmas in July reminder from Simons Park to believe. Thanks for the photo, Alita. We'd like to see your photos. The photo could be of something you see around town, the weather outside your own door, or even photos of your family members, friends, and pets. Whatever you think is interesting and would like to share, send them to bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. Some things that are in the works for next week: a look inside Nile, the whale mobile, coming to the library on Tuesday. Don't forget to miss this. It's a huge exhibit inside the entire meeting room at the library. Coverage of the BHS Summer AI Academy Showcase at Microsoft. A look at this year's Circus at the Mall. Advice on how to manage the uptick in ticks this season, and much more. That's it from the news desk. I'm Phil Gallagher. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week.